started thinking about I need to disciple people, I felt a very strong need to give, not to teach, to give, to guide, and also to learn. And discipleship is about life. The problem is no one has ever taught us about life. Isn't it? I only speak, and many people know me about speaking about money. But money is only one aspect of life. If you don't have all the other aspects of life, then you'll still be a failure. And two sets of people really came to my heart. One is my own children. Who is discipling them? Yeah? Am I really discipling them? Or am I just being a parent? Isn't it? Discipling and being a parent are two different things. Yeah? And I was like, I need to be there for them. I need to teach them how to be men. I need to teach them how to, the girls to be women. And of course, their mother will play a big part in that. But nobody ever taught you, Joshua, how to be a man. Isn't it? People just call you a man, Teddy. But what is a man? There are all manner of things coming up. I'm an alpha male, I'm an alpha woman. Who is an alpha woman and who is an alpha male? And is it really in God's plan? What happens when you marry an alpha woman, you know? So the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think unless we have a safe space to speak about life, and I'm not saying I know everything, I think we are going to be one-dimension success stories. And we will all end up miserably failing. So the other group was, of course, you guys. And I told Cynthia and I told Irene, I don't want this to be compulsory. Please. This is purely voluntary. If you want to grow, you're invited for this. If you don't want, if you think you have enough, you continue working. It's fine. Yeah? So even if it is one person, I'm happy to disciple that one person. Because that's what, here I'm not talking as your CEO. Totally. I am really talking to you as a brother, as a friend, and I'm sharing what I have learned about life, and I'm still learning. Is that fair? Does that sound like a good plan? Yes. So you can ask me anything. Yeah? Maureen, you can ask me anything. Yeah? Even if you're dating or you're thinking of a guy, we can talk about it. I'll tell you, I think, Maureen, you need to check 1, 2, 3. Why? Because your personal success is so important to all of us. Yeah? Is it Jacqueline or Josephine? Jacqueline. I keep messing up those two names. Jacqueline. So we can talk about, you can ask me anything. So discipleship, and when I think about discipleship, these words come to mind. Every time Jesus met somebody who wanted to become a disciple, what did he say? Come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Come is an invitation. So I already sent an invitation. Isn't it? It is voluntary. Isn't it? They say that the people who responded to that call, they were fishermen, they left their fishing nets, they left their boats. They said, I'm following you. Isn't it? And they respond to that call. And I know there are so many things that we've left at our desks. They need to be done. You know, you're only putting more pressure on yourself by being here. But this is is worthy, and I pray that it will count in your life for many years to come. So come. The second thing he said, follow me. Isn't it? there are people, let me put it this way. In this life, you will succeed or fail depending on who you follow. Does that make sense? We are always following people, someone, whether we know it or not, isn't it? Eh? So when Jesus said, come, follow me, he knew who he was first. And it's like, anybody who follows me can never go wrong. You cannot go wrong. Yeah? In fact, one story that always amazes me is, I think it's the book of Luke. I don't have the specific scriptures. So this fisherman had been fishing the whole night. Peter. The whole night. They caught nothing. And then Jesus shows up at the shore just when they are cleaning up their boats, and he's like, he talks to them and he's like, go back and launch onto the deep. And you understand what fishermen do. You know, fishermen are experienced. Eh? Joshua, you come from Kisumu. Fishermen are experienced. Yeah, welcome, Mercy. Yeah, fishermen are so experienced. They know the sea. They understand the sea. They have grown by the lake. You know. So they know the timing to fish. They know the timing to get out. But this night they caught nothing. They even know where to, I've gone for fishing. Deep sea fishing. When you want to catch salmon, there is a way you have to drop that net. If you want to catch tuna, you have to go to a particular place. So these fishermen know all this stuff, but they had caught nothing. So they show up. Jesus shows up and he's like, guys, go back. Launch into the deep. And Peter is like, Yani, who's this guy? But sawa. Nevertheless, at your word, I will launch. Of course, we know the story, how it ended there. They caught so much fish. But the part that really amazes me is when they had brought all the fish and all their boat to the shore. They left everything and they followed Jesus. Like, the fish was no longer important, like who they were following. So we were just discussing the call of discipleship. It started with, come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So the first thing we did was to invite people, come. Voluntary. Even if it is one person, sawa. That's the one who's responded, isn't it? Eh? Then we said, follow me. Everybody follows somebody without knowing or knowing. We are where we are and we are who we are because we've been following certain people. You get, eh? That's how we are where we are today, isn't it? Eh? I came to Nabo or the Centum group because I was somewhere and I was following somebody and somehow I got an opportunity in Centum. Isn't it? Eh? Yeah. Mercy, you are where you are because you followed somebody. Yes, isn't it? Somebody. So, in fact, I was just like, this thing of what do people want every day nowadays on social media? What are they looking for? Followers and likes. Eh? Jesus started this thing of followers. Yeah. And until today, nobody has more followers than him. Isn't it? Eh? So we are doing nothing new. So meaning, you want followers. Just follow him. If you follow him, you'll also have followers. Isn't it? Eh? So he said, come. So it's an invitation. Then follow me. The third one is really something that catches my attention. He said, and I will make you. Is it? Yeah. You will never be the same again. I will make you. I will transform you. By the time Jesus was done with his disciples, yeah, their lives were never the same again. So I have been pondering about this discipleship for some time. From last year. I think we spoke about it last year. And I felt I needed to just vocalize it so that it does not disappear. Yeah? Because transformation, discipleship brings transformation. Yeah? The person you follow will either make you or break you. And I'm hoping that because I follow him, I'll make you fishers of men. You get it? So transformation. At the end of this, what we really hope is transformation. Not my transformation is not the same as Mercy's transformation, is the same as Casey's transformation. It's not the same as Irene's transformation. But we come here to work every day, Jackie, you really probably admire how Maureen does her things, isn't it? Eh? Maybe Mercy is your role model, but you have no clue what Mercy has gone through to become what she is, isn't it? Eh? So this is an opportunity for us to talk openly, not as colleagues, as friends. Yeah? And just share. I mean, today I'm just starting it, but it's not necessarily that I'll be the only one who is sharing. Yeah. So I hope I have made it clear why discipleship. And so I still make that call, come. Isn't it? Eh? Yes. If you feel it is not good enough, please, I release you. It's all good. Isn't it? Eh? Yeah. Then the other thing also I was also thinking is just how many people write to me every single day asking me to be their mentor. And I'm like, God, I can't handle this. I don't have the capacity to handle it. I have some that I try to mentor them, but it's still not enough. You get, eh? Then I feel, you know what, why do this for everybody else except our own people here at home? I'd rather miss everybody else, but I'm able to invest in you guys. Yeah. So that's discipleship. There was going to be a lot of scripture references, and I hope everybody is going to be comfortable with that. Yeah. So, question number 1, what is success? Everybody is here because they want success. Yeah? Zach, what is success? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Then you are successful. Yes. 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 Yeah. So, success is personal. No one here has a similar success to the other. You get, eh? There's a story that I came across recently that really broke my heart. It's a billionaire who committed suicide. And, not billionaire in shillings, billionaire in dollars. And his life was just but a lie. And nobody else, including his wife and children, did not know him really, because they were living on borrowed money for many years, and suddenly, the music had stopped playing. And he couldn't live with himself to even tell his wife the kind of lie that they were living and his children. So it was a very big story, media story, on media. So he killed himself. And the question was he successful? There's somebody who told me the children were successful because they were living a certain kind of life. But they were not successful, isn't it? So success has to be really real. And my own story, because I'm going to be sharing my own story quite a bit. When I was 26 years, I used to be mentored by this guy called Jim Rohn, the late Jim Rohn. And he used to send me an email every day. And at 5 a.m. in the morning, I would wake up. It was one of my readings. And this one morning, the email started with this question: on whose script are you living? On whose script are you living? And that question took me a very long time to answer. And I discovered I was not living on my own script. I was living on other people's script. What is a script? A script is, what is a script, Mercy?
It's like when you, let me think of a play. You guys did drama at school? Yeah. So drama, there was a script. Someone had to come.
Yes.
Whether your crowd scenes, you had to pass the scene at a particular time. So a script is a narration of how things should be. So maybe in regards to Pius's life.
Yes.
It was expectation that you go to school, you graduate, you get married, you...
Yes. So if all you wanted was to get a job and you work in Casey's team, yeah? That's all, isn't it?
Yeah.
You are probably living on Casey's script. The problem is your success is personal. So there is no way Casey will ever deliver you to your success. Yeah? Isn't it? Irene, if you don't have your own script, Irene's script, you will be following me, and according to my definition of success, and wherever you come out is where you'll come out. Me, I'll be very happy because I'll have achieved my success, but you will not be, because it will not be where you want to be. So that question bothered me a lot. So I started asking myself, what is success? And the first thing that I realized is that success to me was multidimensional. Yeah? It is not one thing. So I started putting down. So another thing he introduced me to was something called small changes, big results. So he said, just spend 15 minutes on something. So every day I would spend 15 minutes and ask myself, what is my success? So I started writing down. I said, okay, my success is I want a happy family. I want to be right with God. I want a successful career. I want to have money in the bank. I want a financial success. I want to be physically fit. You get, eh? I don't want to be a guy with a pot, you know. Bald-headed, big pot with a... You see, I'm forming an image, eh?
Yeah.
I'm forming an image. I want mental health. I want to be sharp. I want to be informed. I want to know stuff that is relevant to me. Okay? I say, I want quality relationships. I want to be a good human being to other human beings. And then I'm like, one day, in fact, I was, no, that's a later time. But there's a time I was driving from my house and I got to outside City Hall. And I just had this thing in my, like it was speaking right inside me, saying, what will you be remembered for? What will you, if everything that I have blessed you with today came to an end, who will miss you? What will you be remembered for? And I'm like, God, I don't want to be remembered for that I was just a good husband and a good father and I provided for my family and that is the only thing that I'll be remembered for. It's too small. And I was like, God, I want to be remembered I impacted people. And that also introduced another, as my seventh pillar, legacy. I want to impact people I don't know. They don't even know me and I don't know them. Legacy. So I had these 7 things. Like, wow. Family, God, mental health, spiritual health, physical health, what else? Financial health, and legacy. So I'm spending every day 15 minutes just thinking about this thing. And it was a 12-month challenge. That challenge was to define my success. So then month 1 was like, now write your script of spiritual health. Every day I wake up, what does my spiritual health look like? I write it down. Tomorrow I wake up, I add. The day after, I add. After 1 month, that pillar is done. And I'm like, wow, I know clearly how my spiritual success will look like. Yeah? Then I go to family. So how do I want my family to look like? How do I imagine? I was single like you, Jackie. Yeah? How old are you now? 23. Yeah, just almost the same age. So I started writing, how will my family look like? My wife, my children. How do I want to show love to them? How do I want that relationship to look like? I'm writing it down. Every day, 15 minutes. Every day. Religiously. After 1 month, I pack. That's another chapter. Like that, I went to all the pillars. I did. When I finished all the pillars, I felt like I was a new human being. I know tangibly how my success looks like. It is not something that is in my mind somewhere and I'm figuring it out. You get it? So the next thing that happened was totally accidental. Because the more I was doing this, the more I was finding I'm doing personal development about me. And the more I was doing personal development, everything around me started turning to be a personal development thing. So I'm going to church, I'm listening to the pastor, and I'm like, hey, I'm in a personal development. Today, he's either touching my spiritual or he's touching my financial. So, that red car theory is started really playing on me. I started becoming so close to God. I'm like, this thing is not personal development anymore. The more I'm chasing this multi-dimension, the more I'm finding myself coming closer and closer to God. So one morning, purely out of accident, but not to God, I just heard a voice say, so out of these 7 things, which one does not change? Which one will never change? And I'm like, my first one was family. Family never changes. So then I was like, what is that song? Is it Amazing Grace? Is that song? Where this guy was singing this deep worship song after losing his entire family. And I was like, hey God, family can change. Family can change too. So my eyes landed on God. And I was like, oh my God. This is the one thing that will never change. And I just made this vow, very strong vow. I said, God, no matter how much you bless me, my relationship with you will never change. It does not matter whether I become the president of the world, not Kenya. It does not matter how many billions I have. It does not matter. But the one thing that will never change in my life is my relationship with you. And the moment I made that vow, another thing happened. I started looking at all the other pillars through the eyes of God. Do you see how everything gets connected? Then I'm like, oh, how do I build a family? I can't build family which is not approved by God. Isn't it? Eh? How do I become financially wealthy? I'm like, you know what? You can bribe me with $1 billion shillings, it's still not success to me. You get, eh? So I'm not interested because I will still be a failure. According to my definition of success, I'll still be a failure. I will not be able to live with myself. Everything started coming together, and I started seeing my filter of life, all the other pillars of life was through the lenses of God. I can tell you, without mincing my words, from that moment to today, I can attribute everything in my life to that moment. Everything that happens in my life today is still on that script. Remember, I scripted my life. Yeah. I am still on script. So when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm like, that script says you go to the gym. You wake up and you go to the gym. When you stay for one day without praying, you feel like you are sick. Yeah? Because you say, God, my relationship will never change. Yeah? When it comes to building family, my gosh, even that time, I never even knew I'll be tested on family. Hasn't my family been tested? Yeah? If I did not make that vow then, I would never have been able to go through what my family and I went through the last couple of years. Because what it did, it anchored me. You get, eh? Many people are their anchor is family or their career. Isn't it, eh? Whatever you anchor on the day of test, you know whether you're anchored right or not. And that's why you see, when people fail in business, some commit suicide because that is their anchor. Isn't it, eh? But if your anchor is shifty, that's the point. If your anchor is shifty, you will not be able to withstand the storms when they come. And those storms are certain. They will come. So, success is multidimensional. We may even have the same pillars, but the contents they're different. Isn't it? Eh? Me, I wanted a big family. And clearly, I cannot even stop it. Yeah? The power of the tongue, the power of imagination, isn't it? Eh? So, all those things. So now, every day, I start now. See, one thing, to define success, there is one thing, I spoke about defining success, isn't it? Eh? Success is multi-dimensional, and success is personal. Isn't it? Eh? Then there comes the execution. Many people, they can define success, but they cannot execute. Okay? Let me say this. One of my greatest challenges in life is having a mentor. I've never been able to say this is my mentor other than Jim Rohn. And you know why? Because my success was so multidimensional that I can't find one person who embodies all those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when people ask me who is your mentor, I struggle and just say Jesus Christ is my mentor. Thank God, Jim Rohn mentored me online and died never even knowing my name. But what he did, he pushed me to the real mentor. And the real mentor is Christ. So I wanted to say that as I conclude on defining executing your success. You can't execute something that is not scripted. Does that make sense? So we can be going to the gym together, isn't it? Eh? But you are off script, me I'm on script. Right? We can both be 1 billion net worth. You are off script, me I'm on script. Isn't it? Eh? So it's so important, first of all, that you really sort out the scripting of your life. How will your family look like? You get it? So for me, you'll see me, I don't get overexcited about any one particular thing. I try to balance. My family, job, everything must be, relationships, everything must be blended. I'd rather not be a billionaire. I'd rather not be. But at least I can say all my pillars are attached. So once you define your success, so the next thing for me now was to put it in my day-to-day schedule. You get it? So again, I continued with my 15-minute formula. I used to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, hey, God first. Then I'd say, it was crazy, because I'm going to read the Bible for 15 minutes, I'm going to pray for 15 minutes. So it was like that. Then I was like, God, it is already 7 a.m. So I started waking up at 5:30. Then it was no longer enough. Then I started 5. Then I went to 4:30. Then I went to 4. Jackie, you're still looking at me, eh? There is no time. Time is not?
Enough.
Okay, time is enough, but there is just so much. You get it? There's so much to do, and I have a clear plan. The problem why people don't wake up early is because they have no plan, isn't it? Eh? But now me, I'm like, this 4:30 is not enough. Can I just take it to 4? If I wake up at 4, I can do 2 more things, isn't it? Eh? I think I pushed it about 3, and my body just started breaking. I'm like, I would wake up and just get sick. 3, I knew it was the threshold. Now you don't push any further. Otherwise, it would have gone to midnight. Eh? So my natural waking time now is about 4:30. 4:30. And I still, my biggest, someone asked me the other day, which is the one habit that you would want to master? And my biggest habit that I fight forever, I think it will be forever, is time management. There are so many things competing for our time, and I don't want to be a one-dimensional guy. I don't want to go and spend 2 hours in the gym and 0 time with God. Do you understand that? I don't want to be, it's so crazy, Cynthia, you are not yet married, but most men, they get shaved once a week or twice, or once every 2 weeks. Isn't it? You go spend 1 hour with your barber. Like me, my hair grows very fast, so 1 hour every week. Yeah? So I spend at least 1 hour with my barber. But do you know how many couples spend 1 hour together in a week? Quality time. 1 hour. Yani, husband, wife, let's talk. Mercy, you're married. It is a real... You need to fight for it, isn't it?
You have to fight for it.
Yeah? So it is very possible that the barber to your husband knows your husband more than you. And it's very possible the saloonist to your wife knows your wife more than you.
Saloon is even more time.
Yeah? Salute. I'm not even going there. I'm just being modest. I'm just being modest. So you want to get married, you want to have a good marriage, and you want to spend more time with your barber than your wife. I'm sorry. Time management is the key to success. And especially multidimensional success. So this is a constant battle for me. Yeah? I am constantly failing and starting again and reimagining and getting back on the bandwagon. Like now, I traveled for 10 days. Things were bad, So I'm jumping back on the bandwagon. You get it? So I'm also sharing my own struggles. You never quite arrive. But the point is this, over a long period of time, you can see a general direction. It's a direction of growth. There is nothing wrong with you failing one day. But if you are scripted and know exactly what your success looks like, and you constantly are in this battle of time management, you will constantly be growing. Does that make sense? Yes. And that's the whole idea. It is to grow in the midst of the imperfections of life. You get it? You may not have 1 hour with your wife, but you will make sure you at least have 15. You get it? And your children too, they also need your time. Your mother, your father, everybody, you get it? So there is a lot of demand on us. So execution, the key to executing your success is what? Time management. So if there's one thing that I wish that all of us would invest in knowing, is time management. And I will also be very candid, you will fail many times because life will keep throwing you off, but please keep coming back. Keep coming back. The other thing that I've learned is priority. In your time management, make sure you prioritize. When my late wife was in hospital, what struck me is that I reported to hospital every day. I never even thought about Nabo Capital. Yeah? What does that tell you? Priority, isn't it? Eh? So it is so important that we succeed here at work, but how we succeed here at work also is very dependent on how we are succeeding in other bigger things in our lives. You get, if a marriage is failing, it is very difficult for you to be at your best at work. If your children are going through something, it's very, very difficult for you to bring your A game to work. So in your time management, it's so key that you prioritize those big things. So like for me, I had discovered I can never ever say I'm going to be praying to God at night. My devotion will not be at night because I will just sleep. Yeah? And in fact, I can even be kneeling and I'm praying, but I'm sleeping. Does it happen just to me? And you know, you call it, I slept in the presence, you know. God, you know my heart. So, those things that require, those are things that are big priority and require you to have a fresh mind. Put them early. Pack them early. So prioritization is key if you want to get your time management right. Yeah. If you miss anything in your time management, please miss the minor things. You know, you can't miss your wife for 1 month. It will bite, right? You can't miss your husband for 1 week. Next week, he will start complaining, isn't it? And then you lose everything that you gained this week at work. So those things that are of priority, put them first. What else did I want to talk about? So we've spoken about what is success, how to become a success. I think that's good enough for today. Yeah. Is that useful? Yes. Very useful. Have you learned something? Yes. Welcome.